About 12 months ago, I fell into one of the worst periods of my entire life. Like, for real, the most challenging thing that I've ever had. And it put me in a position where I felt no hope with my life whatsoever. And I've been an entrepreneur for years. When I was young and starting, it's like everything I did, everything I touched, I made money with. I was feeling great about life, optimistic. I'd wake up out of bed and just start my day super early, and I'd be motivated all day long. All the time, I was just thinking about progress, and I was just obsessed with it, and I couldn't stop. And I was excited every day. I was excited to get towards my goal, and the closer I was getting there, the more feeling I'd have, and it just build and compound and compound and compound. And I felt unstoppable, and I really felt I was going to the top. But a few things has happened in my life, a few personal things, a few business related things, and the thing is, they all happened at once. And I was put in this scenario where it was a very crushing experience, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. And for a long time, I was just dealing with problems after problem after problem, and I was just making loss after loss after loss. And then when you're in that negative mind frame and that negative cycle, it's very sticky and it's hard to get out of. You start picking up habits that keep you down there to try and cope with the situation that you're in, and it just spiraled out of control. I had 0% optimism for my life. I felt like I was going nowhere. I felt like I'd never escape this scenario because it was too much. And there were too many things that were reliant on each other. And I couldn't deal with anything. I couldn't even do simple stuff. I was struggling to get through the day. I was struggling to just wake up and do some work. I was getting out of bed late, which has never been me. I was having straight sleepless nights. I was taking ADHD medication, modafinils, just to have 20% concentration throughout the day. Smashing coffees. I was drinking about 10 coffees a day, nicotine pouches, social media all the time. I was just constantly distracting myself and really just killing my self-worth and killing my confidence. And it put me back in the scenario of me having no confidence, my social skills being destroyed, and me just thinking like I got back to square one again. Despite all this work that I'd dedicated my life to, people stopped calling me, I stopped seeing people, I stopped leaving my house because I was just working all the time. And it was not a good way to live. And what I realized in this, I was making my life so much more difficult than it had to be. And this is the cycle that I see a lot of people in. When people are trapped or they feel like they're trapped in a scenario, they're doing stuff to keep them there rather than doing stuff to get out of it. Because when you're in this negative state, you don't see clearly. You don't see your actions clearly. And if you're feeling like there's no point and it's all pointless and you can't get out of it, then the justification for bad habits that keep you there just end up controlling your life. And it took me a long time to get out of this. But in 3 steps, you can completely change how you feel about your life. And I don't care if you're drowning in debt. I don't care if you're going through some personal problems. I don't care what the issue is, what you feel like you can't do, how bad your situation is. If you follow these, you will feel about your life differently. Now, look, this isn't advice if you've just lost a family member or something, something massive like that, life-changing like that. But if you are not feeling excited about your life or hopeful in any way, and you're a young person, something is seriously wrong. But if you implement these 3 things, I promise you will feel completely different about your life. So 99% of the time, it is in your control. I know that might sound crazy because you've got so many things going on, but 99% of the time, how you feel about your life is in control, and you can actually manipulate your emotions to benefit you rather than go against you. Sometimes you are your own biggest enemy. It's you making your life difficult and it's you getting in the way. That's not a problem, but it just needs to be fixed. You are probably making your life harder than it has to be. This has been me a lot because what I used to do was I used to just say to myself, if I'm not working 14 hours a day, hustling every single day, every single waking hour, then I don't want it. But what that led to was me hating my life. I didn't go nowhere. I didn't spend no money. I didn't do anything. What do you expect to happen? You're not experiencing life at any aspect. You've got to go out and do stuff, even if you're uncomfortable. And the problem is, the more time you spend on your own and you build that social anxiety and you build and live in your own head and these problems grow, the worse that you're going to be and the harder it's going to be to get out of it. But follow these 3 and it will change your life. I promise in this video, you're going to learn how to feel completely different about your current life, despite the situation that you're in. 3 small changes that I'm about to share with you can have an unbelievably large impact. how you feel every day, the amount of work you're getting done, and the quality of people and relationships in your life. And look, you've made step one. You're interested in fixing your life. That's why you're watching this video. You are doing it. You are on the right path. So step number one, this has a massive impact. New gym. Now, you might be thinking, well, Theo, I already go to a gym as it is. Well, what is the gym doing for you? Is it a commercial gym where you're just going with headphones on, not speaking to anybody and leaving, and everybody can't be bothered training and it's a lazy environment and there's no winners there? What type of gym is it? Because if you're just going to a commercial gym and not speaking to anybody and there's low quality people there, then you're not really going to benefit from that environment. But when you find a gym where you are competing with other people, talking to other people, what you're going to find is you're going to find like-minded people, and then you've opened yourself up to a new category of people in your life that you can end up being friends with. You can end up meeting girls there. You can end up doing all sorts. You can end up getting advice from older people. But if you find the right gym, it will completely change the game for you. I started Muay Thai when I were in this situation because I never left the house. Like, let me just try to describe this to you. Because I was living and working from home, I was going to the gym still, but it was a commercial gym. So let's say I trained on Tuesday. If I had a rest day Wednesday, I wouldn't leave the house again until Thursday night. So it's like you're at home for 2 full days. That's going to mess with your mind. That is going to mess with your mind. But what I decided to do was go join a gym where it's a bit out of my comfort zone, a bit of a challenge, something where I can speak to people, and something that requires you not to be on your flipping phone. This is the problem with a lot of people. You sat on your phone all day. There's nothing good on that phone. Social media is only fun if your life is fun. If your life is not fun, social media is not good. That's how you got to think about it. But you can talk to winners. If you find the right gym, I've just started a CrossFit gym, and it's full of birds and full business owners, all winners. They're all in better shape than me, older than me, more successful than me. And that's exactly where you want to be, because you're learning off people a few steps ahead of you. You're training with people, and it's unbelievable how much impact it can have. You're going to have more energy because you're training hard, you're training in a better environment, and the people are actually holding you up to a different standard. So when I go to this gym every day, and all the guys are more stacked than me, more shredded than me, well, that makes me want to now level up, because I want to be competing with those guys. And it's about getting yourself in an environment where people are operating on a level ahead of you. And then when you're in that environment, that's going to push you to get your maximum. If you're going to a local gym and everyone's like on their phone, they can't really be bothered training, all this type of stuff, well, what do you think you're going to get? That's the environment you're putting yourself in. So this one small change, join a gym. And when I say a gym, do something where you're training with other people. Maybe a football team, a fight gym, CrossFit, badminton, paddle, swimming class. Whatever it is, go get out your comfort zone and go join a new gym. You will feel completely different about your life, because then you've also got something to look forward to. You've also got that new daily activity, somewhere you need to be, somewhere that people want to see you, and an opportunity to actually start speaking to people. Because when you're in your own head so much and you're dealing with problems, the problems grow. The problems just grow and grow and grow, and they get deeper ingrained inside of you. But in reality, a lot of these problems are just in your mind. Your mind is not your friend if it's idle. So you have to get out of the idle mind state. And one of the easiest things to do is just go join another gym. I do different sort of training all the time. I've done swimming classes where I've done like a 12-week, 14-week course. I've did Muay Thai for a year or 2 years. This picture here, I'm in Thailand training, and when I was like really into it. And now I'm doing CrossFit full time. And look, it's good to mix it up. It's good to meet new people. CrossFit's better than Muay Thai. I found an even better gym. But when you're meeting these people and you're doing stuff and you've got somewhere to be, it's going to give you a bit of purpose and a bit of drive, and you're going to be surrounded by people. So get to a new gym, try it out for yourself. This is something very low cost, everybody can do. And I don't care if you're out of shape. You see, this is a perfect example of you making your life harder than it needs to be. This is exactly what I did. Because I was sat at home, sat with my problems all the time, getting crushed, hating every single day, hating waking up, not knowing what to do, not knowing what to start on. Completely destroyed all my skills that I'd built, all my self-development, or I felt like I did. And then this gym's down the road from me. I drove past it every day. And I just went and tried it once. And now I'm surrounded by winners. I'm surrounded by attractive females. I'm surrounded by jacked guys that are way stronger than me, way fitter than me. So the levels have just been risen. I'm meeting other business owners, and now I'm getting into something that's a complete new hobby for me, a complete new challenge. And my mind's focused on that, and I'm looking forward to training, and I'm buzzing to be there. And once you find that, you're going to kick yourself because you're not going to understand why it's taking you so long. But that's super easy. You can go do that this week. You can go do this week. You can go tomorrow. So look around the new gyms in your area. Try a few. Don't just try one and say this isn't good. Try a few different things. Find what you like. Challenge yourself. You will see a massive difference in your life from this. And look, if you're not training right now, this is a 10 out of 10 essential. You have to train. Don't be complaining about your life if you're not exercising in some form. You have to do some exercise. That's going to make your brain work better. So now you've got training. You're in a new environment. You get surrounded by people. You've got something to look forward to. Life's improving. Life's feeling a little bit better. But then what do you do with the rest of your time? Well, new job, new hobby. Just think about it. Where do you go on a daily basis? You go to work, you go to the gym. If you join a new gym and get a new job, or you have your own hobby and you want to change your new hobby, those three things are where you spend most of your time. So all of a sudden, you've made three small changes, but all of the things that you do are completely different. But this is going to give you a new point of focus. You're able to try something new, and you're able to see something that you've just started with and be able to see actionable progress. Because then now you're training, you've got progress in your training, progress in your social skills, you're getting fitter, you're feeling better, you're more energized, and you've got a new job and hobby you can progress in. So all of a sudden, when you're feeling hopeless about life and now everything's difficult, now you've got new challenges and you feel completely different about what you're doing on a daily basis. And if you find the right gym and go get a job that you like, you're the winner. That's how you feel like you're winning. You've got to be working towards something. It's about finding purpose, especially as a man. You need a purpose. Change your environment and go after a purpose. Once you lose the purpose and your mind is idle, that's where you're going to start running into problems. You're probably thinking, Theo, well, I've got all these problems. They're preventing me from joining a new gym. They're preventing me from getting a job, or I've just got too much on. Right. This is called the problem puzzle. This took me a long time to do this. So my life was very, very messed up in a lot of different ways. And the issue is I had 9 or 10 massive problems, and problem 1 couldn't get finished because it was relying on problem 2. Problem 2 was relying on problem 3. That was relying on problem... You see, it was all linked together and I had no idea where to start. Now, what your brain tells you to do is focus on the biggest problem, get that done first. But usually the biggest problem can't be done without the other problems. So I was looking at all these issues in my life, felt like I had no control, and I couldn't get out of it. When you feel like you're not in control, that's where you're going to get stuck in a rut. And when you get stuck in a rut and you start taking on bad habits, you start going to bed later, you start having poorer sleep, you start vaping and doing nicotine pouches, you start getting distracted on social media, you may be spending more time with lower quality people just because you're lonely. All these things are going to make the cycle that you're in worse and worse. Now, the thing is about energy, good energy, positive energy, and negative energy compounds. So when you start winning, it's easier to win because your energy is on a higher level. But when you start losing, or you've been through a few losses or a losing streak, it's going to make it easier to lose and lose and lose because you're eating that food that you shouldn't be eating. You're not going to sleep on time. You're smashing caffeine just to get through the day. All these things you're reliant on to supplement your bad situation. And you're usually doing that because you feel like you're not in control. But the problem is with those type of habits, they make you even less in control. Think about it. You are relying on these external things just to help you to operate on a basic level. So then all of a sudden, you're signifying to your brain you can't function without these habits. And when you're reliant on bad habits, it's a self-destructive cycle. So the problem puzzle, you want to write down 5 to 10 of your biggest problems, all the things that you need to sort. It might be get a new job, join a new gym, sell my car, save X amount. And you see, if you're trying to save money and you need a new job, then they're 2 things that you need to do at the same time. But you can't do the other one until the other one's done. So what can you focus on? Well, you can get the new job first. So you're trying to write all your problems out and you're trying to write them as puzzle pieces. Write a little puzzle so they all connect. Just write them far away from each other. Write what the problem is and you number them 1 through how many problems you have. Now, number 1 is the one that you can control first. And what you will find is, number 1 will unlock number 2. So let's say you need to get that new job. Would be number 1. But now you need to save money. So once number 1's done and you've moved the puzzle, you've promoted it to the actual placing, number 2 is save the money. So now, because you focused on number 1 first, you've unlocked the ability to do number 2. And then you put number 3, then you focus on that. And then this is going to put you in a situation where you realize that you are in control. You do a couple of them, and then you're feeling hopeful again. Then you're feeling like you're actually going somewhere. You're feeling direction in your life, and you're not just focused on problems all the time and sitting in your own head. This is going to give you clarity, and it's going to make you feel in control. And you can really take your biggest problems and start doing them. And then what you'll realize is it was all in your head. It was all in your head all along. You've always been in control. And look, guys, it happens to the best of us getting in this situation. Look, I've never been this guy. I never thought something like that would happen to me. I've always been training, exercising hard, successful business owner, always been working for myself, always been successful, always had a positive mindset, always thought I can deal with any issue. I still found myself in this situation. But this is how I got out of it. And now my life feels completely changed. Just a few small steps. And if you try these and implement these, you will see a big change in your life. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, what are you playing at? I'm dropping heat on a daily basis at the minute. So listen, click that subscribe button down below. Comment on the video if you found any of this valuable and let me know what you think. And also, like the goddamn video. Till next time.